Hello and welcome back to another website review. Today we've got a link here by Shreesh. He has sent me a link to check out his website and give it a quick review. So we're going to open up right here. Cool. Alright, now I know that Shreesh is a photographer and we've got a nice picture here opening up of what looks like the freeway from Kings Park in Perth. So I love the fact that already we've got a really nice, strong image. And we've got something that ties in the location. Here we go, photographer based in Perth, Western Australia. Website. Okay, interesting choice of word for the text there as we're already on the website. Some things that stand out to me as a little bit of an eyesore currently. This whole menu is quite difficult to see. It's very jumbled in amongst the photograph here. So I'd potentially be looking at improving that. Also, the logo here with this line that drags out to the side, making it very off-center, also feels a little bit uncomfortable. We've got a cart. I'm not sure what that's doing just yet. We've got some social links. Cool. Okay. My first criticism is that I don't know where I'm meant to go next. It looks to me as if I should click on this website button, because that is kind of the only thing that's like really standing out, but it doesn't make sense. I'm going to click on a button that says website. I can see when I hover this, that down the bottom here, we've got, /work. So if you're going to have a button, I would suggest that it suggests what it's going to take you to. So, but maybe having like view my portfolio would be a better option. But let's dig through the website and sort of see what might be a better call to action for you to have on here. Yeah, definitely working out a way to clean this up for clarity and to see would be a bit better. I don't think it would hurt to have, a more traditional kind of header at the top of the site with maybe your logo and your menu across here. And then not even having the social links up here for now. I'd have that down the bottom of the page as the footer. Yeah, that would probably be my first suggestion to clean up the homepage. It's just very busy. But yeah, let's dig in and see what else we can find. We're going to click on About, the next page. Okay, this page. Okay, this whole header up here, where we've got sort of like the top corner down underneath the menu, is quite large. It's taking up maybe like half of the page already. So I'm already going to have to scroll before I get to any of this information here. Now, ideally, I want to be reading a lot of that on this page without scrolling. So by cleaning up this header, having something a little bit shorter is going to help us do that. I'm not sure why the menu is on 2 lines here as well. Maybe there's something to do with the width that's been set up. But yeah, I would probably work on having just a way reduced header for now, making it a lot smaller and trying to fit more of the actual page contents up the top there. Okay, so we're on About 1. Shreesh, hello, I'm Shreesh, nice to meet you. Born and raised in Pune, India, currently in Perth, West Australia. With over 8 years of professional photography experience, I fell in love with nature and people's beauty, and capturing aerial shots, portraits, and landscapes have been my favorite genre. My photography journey was born out of the love of capturing moments, nature, and people's faces and expressions of various experiences in my own life, and wanting to share that experience with the rest of the world. Cool. Okay. I might have mentioned on a previous video, but typically one thing that I find businesses struggle with their websites is talking probably too much about themselves and their experience and their expertise, instead of talking about the problems that they solve for their customers. Now, as a photographer myself, one thing that I've always struggled with, especially when creating a photography website, is finding that balance, because I think as a photographer, you sort of fall into a category that can often be more of an artist than a service provider. In which case, I think it feels more likely that you're going to start talking about yourself and why you're an artist. However, I want to make a distinction between a photography business and a photography artist. I think that if you're an artist that is looking mainly to create images like on this homepage, and you're wanting to sell prints of these sort of landscapes and bits and pieces, then I don't think it hurts to talk about yourself in the way that you have so far. But I would make it very clear that this is like a print shop where you're buying your work. If, however, you're looking to work with brands and people, whether that's in weddings or portraits or whatever other services, photography services, rather than prints, then I would focus on talking more about the services that you provide rather than who you are straight away. So that would be my criticism and suggestions for you to figure out on here is, do you want to be someone who's selling more of your photographic work, or are you looking for more people to hire you for your photography services? In that case, I would talk about more about your services than yourself to begin with. We're going to go through and look at work. Okay, we've got another nice landscape here. Like, I have no criticism on your photographs themselves. The photos are really, really strong. Beautiful landscapes, really nice compositions. I think these would work quite well as prints, and I think that there's an opportunity there for you to be selling some of your photos in that way. Okay, whoa, what was that? Okay. As we hover over, we get an image that comes up relevant to the text that we're hovering over. But this is busy. It's very busy. The aerial one, like, it's kind of coming right off the screen. I don't even know if I can. I've got to scroll all the way to the bottom to be able to fit that in. And then I've got like 2 photos on top of each other, plus text, and like, it's a cool feature, maybe, but it is very distracting. I think I think that would be my criticism on this so far. It's very busy. Events as well. Look at like this photo above this text or underneath this text. It just makes it very hard to see what's next and what I'm going to click on. But the photos themselves are nice. There's just a lot going on in how you're bringing this up. It's a lot of movement, a lot of overlaying. It's quite busy. Published work, social media marketing. Okay, cool. Whew. All right. And we've got brands up here, packages, contact, testimonials. All right. We're going to dig further and try to help you out. Aerial, let your dreams take flight. Okay. These are fantastic images, like really, really beautiful shots. I think that this should be more of the focus. From what I've seen so far, I think that you should be trying to sell your prints here, not just display them as a portfolio piece. Like, I don't know about other people's intentions, but me personally, if I come across your site, like, I would love to be able to buy this work, to have this printed big and having it on my wall, way before I think the idea comes to have you maybe come out and visit me somewhere and take aerial photos for me. These are very well composed images. They look beautiful. I think that these should be large prints that you're selling, and even maybe doing some exhibitions of. Like, there's no, I have no fault with these photos. They're really, really nice. The colors are great. The compositions are really beautiful. And I think that you should be printing these and having them up on display somewhere where people can buy them. I'm going to go back to work. Events. Cool. Okay. So we've got a gallery of photos that have been taken at events. Again, they're nice images. No harm in that. Like, you're obviously a good photographer and are getting some nice photos, good colors. But it doesn't really tell me a lot. It's just a gallery of events, which is fine. I think this is very typical of a lot of photography websites. They would just have like the title and then just a gallery. But like the goal should be for people to be coming on your website to hire you, and we've got to make that easy for them. Jumping onto portraits. Cool. some nice portrait shots. Again, like some of these are really like artistic and like I think would make cool prints. I think that you should be looking at that, honestly. All right, we've got more sections. Let's go to, do we do landscapes? I did aerial, oh no, I didn't do landscapes. Let's go and have a look at landscapes. Cool. Yeah, honestly, dude, like, if you're not printing these photos yet and have got them up large somewhere, or these aren't available to buy, this is the first thing that I think you need to do. Yeah, really, really nice. Like, a lot of these would make fantastic wallpapers, make really nice, like, big poster prints. I would love to see it. Honestly, I think that would be a really nice way to go. Maybe finding a company that could do the fulfillment for you, if you can find anyone that can print and deliver. Having a shop on here where people can buy those sizes would be great. Or even if you wanted to set up something else on, like, I don't know, Society6, Redbubble, some of these sort of services that will do the print and delivery for you, might not be a bad idea. Cool. Oh, let's continue going through the work just quickly. Published work. All right, we've got some sort of shots from magazines. A lot of this is, you know, I'm going to say like more intimate portraiture. It's definitely nice quality. It's good photos. I'm just not sure. Oh, we've got a few landscapes at the bottom here as well. A little bit confusing there. Oh, is this the published work? Okay, so all the published work is basically with models. Cool. Work. Social media marketing. Design. Okay. A little bit confused how we've got sort of like a different text here. Then we clicked on, we've gone to social media marketing up here, but we've got design over here. And then we've got some design work. Okay, cool. I had no idea that you were offering design as a service, but obviously you are. And these are really, really nice designs. Like these posters, these layouts are sweet. They're so bold. They're so strong. I love this. Like the quality of all your work is really good. I'm just a little bit confused at the second as to some of these categories. But hopefully I can help you sort of work this out in a minute. Hello? Cool, okay. Alright, so that's all our work. Brands. I've had the pleasure of collaborating with a range of fashion brands. And then we've got, okay, a scrollable thing over here. Okay, my first thing, I think if you're going to have something like this that talks about the brands that you've worked with, fantastic. I think there's probably a nicer way to do this. Having these logos so big and taking up a lot of the page and then having to find a way to scroll through them is quite unlikely. I don't think many people are going to do that. Maybe just having like these icons in a smaller sort of grid, having 4 across the displayed, maybe, and then they can scroll through the 4, or even if that can automatically scroll through, could be cool. But other than that, we haven't got a lot of information about the context of this. So even if this was going to be like brands I've worked with, would maybe make a bit more sense. Packages, let's have a look. Oh, just quickly. We've clicked on brands and we've got like new page as your thing up here. Pretty much we want to be making these titles and the page URLs aligned if we can. I see this as quite a common problem on Squarespace. I don't think they make it very easy to find where you're meant to change that slug, but you definitely should. Okay, packages. Package 1, Little Dreamers, 1 hour photo shoot, 2 outfit changes, 8 images, studio hire, makeup, styling from this. Cool. Okay. So obviously we're providing photo shoots for models or influencers or whoever else. Package 2, similar thing. Package 3, same sort of thing. Package 4. Okay. All right. So the first time that I'm seeing what you're trying to sell, it's all very much focused on models, and there's no harm in that. I just think that if that's the case, then this whole website should have been more clearly steering towards that as your niche, rather than including the other stuff. I think there's like sort of two things going on. You've got like obviously like the landscape and the print element, and then you've got the model side of things, and then you've got the graphics and the brands and things like this. I would probably like to see you bring these together, in terms of like, even if you just wanted to create a services page instead of your work page currently, and have on your services like, model shoots and portfolios, and then having another one that's like graphic design, and then having another one, and maybe that just being your two services, or event photography. Maybe those three. So it could be like graphic design, event photography, and model portfolios and shoots. At least having those three services as a base would be a cool way to structure this a little bit better, because then under each of those you could have the relevant packages. So on the model shoots page, you could have the packages down that page that will give them their different price points. And the same with graphic design, you could then create a spot on that page to talk about your packages that you offer with graphics, and the same with your event photography. At the moment, I haven't seen any place that tells me how much your event photography could be, or how much it's going to get you to do any graphics for me. So that would definitely be something that I'd be looking at clearing up. And then I would just create another section that's like prints, and to have your landscape stuff there available for purchase. Contact, let's jump into that. For business inquiries, we've got name, email, subject message, and Instagram, and some contact details. Cool. I think it's fine for a contact page. It works quite well. Testimonials. We hired Shreesh to photograph our welcome event. She helped me creating a logo for my fitness brand. Cool. Awesome. Okay, lovely. I really like the fact that you've got here the testimonial and the person next to it who's given the testimonial. I think that's a nice way to build authenticity. Obviously, these testimonials are real. Love it. Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in what you've got there. I think the testimonials page is strong. I think my suggestion for what your menu should be would be home, about, services. Each service page includes its own packages section. If you did want to have a page that's just like prices and packages, then include all of that information under sort of like sections. Have like, event photography, model photography, graphic design, and have your packages under each one of those. But I think the biggest thing that you're missing here is your call to action, what you want people to do. So I would have a button up here that's going to say, book me for your next photo shoot, or hire me. And then that gives people a way to click on there, and then they can click on it and say, what service are you looking for? Oh, okay, I'm looking for event photography. Cool, okay. Let's go to a page that says details on your event. How long do you want photography for? 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it might be. Where is the location of your event? What's your details, contact number, etc. Anything that can answer as many of the questions that you're going to get hounded with when people do inquire is great to get them to sort out themselves on your website, already knowing maybe how much it's going to cost. If you can give them any guidance to I travel this far included, but then travel beyond this far from Perth, or however it might be, is this much extra. Any information you can give them, but give them a booking form that gives you as many details about what they're looking for straight away, would be my suggestions here. So, okay, so far I didn't figure out what the cart is doing. If I click on the cart now, it takes me to a cart that says there's nothing in there. I can go continue shopping, and it takes me back to the home page. So currently I can see that there's no shop that's set up, unfortunately. I would love it if you had, home, about, services, testimonials. I think the brands and the testimonials could be linked together. You could have your testimonials and then have like brands that we've worked with and have those icons. I think that would be good. And then having prints, contact, and book me or hire me. they would be my suggestions for this. This should be hire me as well, and you need to sort of improve this heading, this layout up here, I think. Yeah, that's my feedback on the site. I think all of your imagery is really, really strong, but yeah, you just need to get a little bit more clearer on what you're trying to sell as your services, where people can buy your prints if that's something you're interested in selling, and yeah, just cleaning up the design a little bit. But thank you very much for submitting this. It's a really nice website to sort of dig into. I hope you didn't find any of it too critical. But yeah, there's a couple of suggestions that I would make in order to try and hopefully steer you in the right direction of maybe getting some more work through your site itself. So yeah, my DMs are always open. Feel free to ask me more questions about any of the stuff that I've talked about. And hey, if anyone else is interested in having me look through and dig into their website and pick it apart a little bit, feel free to send me your URL in a message or a comment, or however you want to get in touch, and I'll do it for you. We'll try and get through as many as we can, and we'll get these websites reviewed and hopefully improved. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Chat to you soon. Bye.